Welcome to our Get Your Goals annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And today we are talking about, and we are going to test out your goal framework. Yesterday we thought about and we designed out what is the process that you want to use. And I did what is the process that I want to use to move forward in this challenge when it comes to goals, goal setting, the whole goal system. And I'm looking at it from the big picture, this year's goals framework. What is my framework for, well, probably doing the challenge is part of it, but what is my framework? What are the steps I go through as I am looking at, thinking about, deciding what my goals are going to be, etc. So for me, for example, and mine is still a little convoluted, which is why I'm going to test it out today. And I'm going to try it. I decided this morning I'm going to try it on my biggest overarching world-changing, world domination goal. I'm going to pick my biggest goal, my biggest of, instead of breaking it down by what area of my life I want a goal in, but you can do that. Just pick any goal and apply your framework and test your framework out and see if it works. If your first step of your framework is to say, what do I want, which happens to be the first step of my goal framework, I'm going to identify what is, and you can do anything, just one thing that you want. Maybe you want a new car, and you're going to run through your goal framework to map out how to get a new car, or how to get a new job, or how to start a business, or how to do anything. Maybe it's not a how-to. Maybe you want a better relationship. But just pick one thing and run it through the steps of your framework and see how it makes you feel. I'm going to run it through, and I'm going to test it, and I'm going to, I have frameworks for everything. I didn't realize it, but I absolutely positively do. I caught myself doing plan, do, check, act, which is a quality framework I learned way back in college, to the whole process of deciding what my framework was going to be, right? So I picked out, and I made the steps of my framework. Right now it's got 7, but there's interim steps for my framework, just like pretty much everything else. When I go and rate my things on a scale of 1 to 10, I use plus or minuses because I don't want to settle on a specific number. So that's just me. You decide and do what works for you. So we mapped out our framework yesterday. Today we're picking a goal and we're testing that framework. So I'm going to take my biggest, most massive goal, my overarching, what is, and if you know your purpose, it's pretty easy to have a giant goal like that. And I happen to know my purpose. So I'm going to use that as the goal I test my framework on. Why? Because I figure if it will work with that one, it'll definitely work with my smaller goals and the goals in my different areas of my life: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. We're going to talk about all of those in detail, in depth this year, starting next month. Not sure which area we'll start with. If you've got any feelings or preferences about that, hit me up in the comments below today or tomorrow, because I'm going to start mapping out next month's challenge. And all I do is I grab a calendar, an annual calendar with the whole month on one page, and I just put in topics that I want to talk about. Do they change? Absolutely, because things happen and things change, and I get feedback and information from you, and then I decide to do things in different order or X things out and cover something entirely differently on a particular day. So today, look at your framework, pick a goal. It doesn't have to be your biggest goal like me. I just decided that's what I wanted to do this morning. So once I decide something, then I just do it. And I'm going to apply my framework, my 7-step framework. If you want to know what it is, it's what do I want? Why do I want it? What is my vision of the future, as if I already had that goal? Because that helps me to think about and open my mind up to possible strategies, which is my next step. I got to have a strategy of getting that goal. Is it going to be the right strategy the first time I pick it every time? Hasn't been in the past, so I don't expect it to be in the future. Would be awesome, but I'm going to take that strategy, then I'm going to break it down, and my step 5 is what's required, what's necessary, what do I need in terms of skills, resources, analyze risks here, milestones and objectives, so that I can break that giant goal down into smaller pieces. Then my 6th step is to come up with an action plan. So the 5th step involves inventory and risks and things like that. And then the 6th one is my actual action plans with deadlines and responsible individuals. When do things have to be done by? What has to be done? What are the big chunks that need to be done? And my 7th one is, what are my rewards for achieving those timely goals? And then what do I need to do if I miss an interim goal on my way to that big goal? I like to have okay, I need to regroup, or I need to go back. Maybe I have to go back and look at my strategy. I picked the wrong strategy. And then we just loop back around to whatever step is necessary in the process. Most of my processes are not just straight line one and done. They're repeating processes, right? That we can use over and over and over again based on the inputs that we have for the particular process, and then the results that we get from how we ran that process, and over and over and over again. All right, any questions, hit me up. If you want any, comments or questions, or you want to share your framework, do that in the comments below. Love to see them. Otherwise, it's personal to you. I think it's important that we take any training, anything that we do, any challenge that we do, and we actually do the things that work for us and make it our own. Now, keep in mind, sometimes we have to do things that are uncomfortable for us. This isn't about being comfortable. It's about getting the results that we want. And sometimes if it's uncomfortable, it's because it's the exact thing we need right now. All right. Have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. I'm going to go do this sometime today. And I don't just highly recommend. I insist that you do this because it's all for you. All right. Have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow.